Even more evidence that retirees are a satisfied lot. And so for you who have this serious fear of retirement because a crisis that's out there, you might want to think twice. All right, so we're going to go here to my man Mark Holbers, and my man Rob up in Worcester sent this to me, and I would have missed it had it not been for him. So good stuff. Why retirees are better safe than sorry. And what Mark does over at Market Watch, and we'll put a link in the show notes, he says basically EBRI conducted a study of 2,000 retirees between the ages 62 and 75 with less than $1 million in retirement assets. And they're asking the level of satisfaction. The ability to correlate their answers with retirement assets traces to the slice and dice below. All right, 1 very dissatisfied, 10 very satisfied. We got 5 profiles, average satisfaction scores. Note that, but for 1, they all fall pretty much in the same thing: affluent, comfortable, average, just getting by. Struggling is where the satisfaction score is only 5.75 out of 10. So even more, still half are more satisfied than not. It's pretty good. All right, so we're going to go. The retirees in this profile had low level of assets, less than 100,000 schmackers, low income, less than 40,000, and more likely than any group to rent rather than own, and more likely to have debt such as credit card or medical debt. Now, the interesting thing is to say, and rely on Social Security to provide a bulk of their income. We're going to read the EBRI study here in just a second. The reliance on Social Security has nothing to do. It has to do with the fact they have debt, unmanageable debt, most likely that they rent. That's a payment. Essentially, it's a debt. Let's see. The average satisfaction scores in the other 3 groups. These guys right here, all right? Right in there. Comfortable, average. Look at that. Just right there. Right about 8 out of 10. Very satisfied, and just getting by is still significantly satisfied. All right, though I don't have access to underlying data, my hunch is that the difference between the scores for these 4 profiles aren't statistically significant. The conclusion I draw once we jump over some initial financial hurdle in preparing for retirement, there's relatively little correlation between more wealth and greater happiness. Furthermore, that initial hurdle is low. All right. So basically what he says, perhaps the most important investment implication is that you avoid a worst case scenario, and then it's more important to avoid the worst case scenario than it is to shoot for the moon, 100%. It makes little sense to incur inordinate risk in pursuit of diminished returns, i.e. once you get a certain level of return, just be happy with it and move on. All right, so we're going to look at the EBRI study. You know, I'm a huge fan of EBRI. 97% of the 2,000 individuals they queried between 62 and 75 are being retired. 80% report their spouse or partner being retired. That means the number of years respondents reported being retired was 8.7%. All right. With 4 and 10, 40% have been retired for over 10 years. Households were roughly split into 5 different categories. From household income, 80,000 and higher, 40,000, 80, less than 40,000. The amount of current financial assets was 200,000 with a median of 75,000 bucks. Current financial assets, median 75,000 bucks. The mean amount, the average was 200,000. You see where we're going here? People generally wish they had saved more. Only 18% say they had saved more than was needed, with nearly half reporting they had saved less than what they need in retirement. Still, most believe they're doing well in retirement. The majority reported that their standard of living was the same or higher in retirement than when they were working. 69% said their standard of living was the same or higher. In addition, 61% felt their spending was about right for what they could afford. Most don't want to spend down all their assets. Just 4 and 10 report that they plan to spend on all or a significant portion of their assets. Now, they're calling financial assets, remember, your equity in your home is an asset as well. Fear of running out of money is not the primary motivator. When asked about the rationale for not spending down assets, fear of running out was only 27% running out of money, which was outpaced by saving assets for an unseen cost later. I'm telling you, man, it's just the fear of the unknown. They're not so worried about fear of running money. It's like, what if? I get it, 100%. Having a retirement nest egg makes people happy. 64% of survey respondents agree that saving as much as they can makes them feel happy and fulfilled. Priorities change during retirement. Wow. Maintaining health and wellness was by far the most important goal at the time people retired. 81% says extremely or very important. The reality of retirement differs from retirement expectations. Fewer than 1 in 4 score their current life in retirement is highly aligned with how they expected it to be. Isn't that interesting? Satisfaction in retirement is above average. 8 in 10 score their retirement satisfaction as above average. Just over a third score their retirement satisfaction as high. So they're satisfied. Even so, not everyone fares well in retirement. Yep, exactly. Well, that's true. The least satisfied were the ones with unmanageable and crushing debt. Oh, that's one thing. More than 4 and 10%, 42% of this category register below average satisfaction in retirement. The number one thing you can do to be happy in retirement is to pay off debt. It's just that simple. There's no other way around that. Not having the debt, you can live you can live frugal and not worry about it. Pay it off. All right, love to hear your thoughts. We'll see you